Hello, and welcome to ARK, the Complete Series. Well, we're all admiring that bright shiny light over there. But really should be getting on with things. We need to get this base finished off. I mean, we've managed to get ourselves some text riders, and although technically I only really need that one that's got the excavation rig on it, because I can link that up to the dedicated storage. Technically it doesn't work with the S Plus. I've had to use a dedicated interface which basically sucks things out of the inventory of the actual dyno and then puts it into the S Plus text storage. I mean, it would have worked fine with the vanilla text storage that you get. It's just a feature, shall we say, because I'm using S Plus. Now, I want to get all of these walls finished off. I need to get the ceilings done as well. I want to start putting in teleporters between this base and the next base so I can get around quicker. I mean, I can get around pretty fast just by literally running with this exosuit. It goes pretty fast, but, you know, may as well use teleporters now we're into the tech gear anyway. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay for gathering all of the types of resources you need for the walls and so on. It's more the requirements for just finishing off. What was it? It's that force field that's over there. I need one of these extra large force field walls over there. If I go to here and have a look, that needs 600 silica pearls. Now, I could go wandering up and down the waterways because you'll find silica pearls along there, for instance. That was one option, I suppose. But then I thought, well, yeah, I mean, I can get most of the resources I need here. I mean, I'm getting the organic polymer, for instance, from the mantis. I'm getting loads of chitin from them as well. Other resources I'm getting locally. I mean, it'll go a lot faster now that I've got the text strider over there. But it's that silica pearl that I'm more interested in now. I need to be able to harvest that at a much quicker rate. So I was thinking, well, actually, why not just use the gachas then? Just make my life easier, basically. But they're over on Extinction. So that's the plan. We're going to head back to Extinction. So I've left folks over here. I've left the furry thing down there. Rainbow, she's got all of my gear. Actually, while we're at it, you can have that dust that I got off her. Her? Yeah, her. It's nothing that should be left on me except the exosuit, which I don't really need. So I'll get a new one when I come back. So that's the plan. And I'm gonna basically just upload myself to the tech transmitter. I could incidentally head up to the tech strider and I could actually take advantage of its own transmitter. You can upload yourself. You can't upload your dinos. You can upload items, but you can't upload dinos on them. But with the tech transmitter, do whatever you please. So for that reason, we're going to upload ourselves. I'll click on accept. I don't want to download myself. I'm finished with this map for now. I don't need a new character, so I'm going to exit out. Now, I don't have a cluster of servers as such. What I've got is I've got independent servers. The reason being is that you've got to register these services on the actual public internet. I really don't want to do that, so I run independent servers on my local network. It's a bit of a pain, I must admit, because I can't easily jump from one cluster server to another. I've got to basically log in, log out. Every time I do that, it kind of resets some things. I also have a bit of a problem when it comes to actually downloading. I can't say, for instance, these are the places where I can potentially go. These are the beds that I've got, but I can't actually pick one. I've got to just randomly get dumped in here for some strange reason. Every time I respawn on a map, it always dumps me in some particular location, whichever map I go to. I think with the island, it's nearly always the northeast corner of the map. I think here with Extinction, it's always here, so I can't really pick a different place. So let's say, for example, I'll say I want to go to Desert North, which is over here. I really want to go up here, to be honest. But let's say I pick Desert North. I'm going to tell it to spawn the survivor. So this is the downside, as I say, because I'm running it independently. is the fact that I always just get dumped back in the city anyway, so it really makes no difference. So yeah, that's interesting. I get all my gear as well, as if I was starting from scratch. I mean, I could disable that feature, I suppose, but it's something else I need to do. So now I'm stuck out in the middle of nowhere. So the easiest thing to do is just kind of like commit carry essentially, and then I can respawn back in my bed. So I know you. What level are you? You're level 174. Ooh. That thing's bleeding me seriously quickly. How about we annoy you a bit more? Go on. You can do this. Come on. Come on. I'm 174. Jeez Louise. What were the odds? I mean, that's mainly because it's a tech one. I mean, it's a 150 map, but it, yeah, tech dinos get higher levels anyway. Come on, keep going, keep going. You know you can do it. Can we knock you out? What are the odds? Very slim because you're 174. I'm determined to knock you out. Come on, come on. You can do it, you can do it. I mean, all this like pummeling, it's actually wearing me out, and I'm actually like gaining torpor as well. Oh dear, we got killed. Kill sprees. Right, so now I can respawn in my bed. Ah, my bulldog's still here. Hello, Hugh. This is Hugh Mark IV. He's all the way from Aberration, actually. Right, so... where's Foxy over there as well? We'll go and have a look and see what we've got. So we've got... these are all of the actual gachas that I've been... normally been using. I use S Plus to keep them separate, so you don't have to worry about... the normal problems. If they're too close to each other, then they cause problems that won't produce anything. So I've got quite a lot of them, but they're all mainly, you know, designed for like giving me lots of metal, for example, and element dust and so on, which it's not something I really need over on Genesis 2. Right, there's my door on my way out over there. So I think I'll have a bit of a rummage around, and I'll have a look in the oh, actually there's the breeders over there, so I've got them over there, so I could if I don't have any, I could always breed some from that lot, because you get different resources each time. You know, you don't sort of like get one that produces metal and then their offspring is guaranteed to produce metal. It's usually quite random. Dipsy's got everyone's got the little hats on, have you? Okay. So let's see, where did I keep my cryopods? The off chance I've got some in there. Gachas. Oh yeah, I may as well get rid of all this rubbish as well again. So gachas, so I've got... so these are ones I was going through the process of trying to get better gachas, I must admit. And it just didn't seem much point after a while, because you can get mutations. And it was proven very, very difficult, because the... head over to these gachas. So this is the male breeder. So if you look at him, he's got a certain crafting skill. The better the crafting skill, the more, you know, the higher the loot quality you'll get, for instance. So I was trying to breed mutations to get much higher crafting skills, but the chances of getting a mutation on that are extremely slim. There's all these other like skills that you've got. Trying to get that one up was extremely difficult, so eventually I just gave up, to be honest. I mean, I am tempted to still leave these, but I'm not seeing one. I can find a one that's got maybe silica pearls, because these are all all random. Doesn't really matter what you get. The next, you know, the offspring will have, there'll just be something else anyway. So I could just potentially take, say, like 2 back and start up a new breeding session. That's one thought, actually. That was black pearls, wasn't it? Yeah, could have done polymer. It's just I get the organic polymer a lot quicker off the mantis, I must admit. It's the same with the metal. I could get metal out of these. But, oh, there you go, silica pearls. So I've at least got one of them anyway. So these will produce a certain amount of resources. Another one. There's another one that does silica pearls. So they'll all produce a certain amount of resources as long as you feed them. They're all a bit basically unhappy and peeved. These lot won't produce anything because they're all so close to each other. But I could, if I get myself, say, like 2 babies. Well, actually, if I get a male and say like 4 females, if I take those back, that'll give me a breeding pair for over in Genesis 2. And then we can start thinking about specifically about the ones that do the actual pearls, I suppose, or anything else we can find for that matter, because they all specialize in a certain thing. There's certain types that you get. Some of them are dedicated to certain things, and you can just tell them to, you know, produce only this item, for example. It's all random. There's certain rare and common sort of things that will produce. But yeah, silica pearls would be definitely useful. So I'm going to spend a bit of time here getting these to get me some little babies. That'll give me I'll need a male and 4 females. Again, it doesn't really matter what they can produce. I'll just take them back over. Ideally, if I can get ones that do silica straight away, that would be easier, I suppose. But we shall see. Wow, well, there's some perspective for you. There are almost 21,000 silica pearls in dedicated storage in this place. I think that's a lot. Jeez Louise. I think this is probably because of all the items we were producing as well. I forgot about that. The gachas can produce like quality loot, and then if you don't want them, you just put them into a grinder. Just break them all down. It's a case of, yeah, you end up with like tons and tons of resources. So I just totally forgot about it. I'm kind of like tempted to just like drag a lot of that over to Genesis 2. But anyway, I've managed to do some breeding. It kind of went pear-shaped to begin with because I put all of the wolves and everything on aggressive, so if anything comes into the base, they'll then start attacking them. Because I wanted to protect the gachas. Actually, we do put you on. So put these 2 back again. So yeah, so the first litter got born, and it was like, that was it. It was all gone after that. It's like, I totally forgot. Alright, we'll drag these 2 over to here. So I can keep an eye out on my gachas here. Oh! What have we found? Something will be wandering around, and the wolves have gone nuts. I think there was a moss chops wandering around here. I keep forgetting how... Oh, yeah, it's the moss chops. I keep forgetting how dark this place is. It's seriously dark. Right, you stay still. Dude, why are you wandering around? But yeah, the plan was, I was thinking, well, I'll take a male and 4 females over to help me do breeding, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter what their genders are if I just want to produce items. And I've actually ended up with things completely the opposite way around. I've got 1 female and 4 males. So I'll put him into the system. So yes, I've got 4 males and 1 female. So at least they can all produce silica pearls anyway. Just double checking. Yeah, I've got I've got some saddles for them as well. But what I'll end up doing is making these systems for the gachas, so that way I can keep them all closer together, and I won't have the problems with them producing anything either. Because at the moment you can see, I mean, all these ones over here, they're all very, very close, and they're not happy chappies or chapesses, and it's a case of, yeah, they're not really doing much. Anyway, I guess I'm now finished here. I don't need these anymore. I'm seriously tempted to just get like a ton of Silica Pearls. It's just because I've got so much of it. It's like, yeah, why not? Make my life a bit easier. Just to get started, why not? It's just a bit fiddly having to... You've got to select each item to transfer it across for some strange reason. If you just select transfer everything, it ends up in the tribute tab. So that gives me plenty to get started anyway. So I think we're finished with this place. Now it would be good to get some owls as well. But I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to... the whole taming process has completely changed now. You've got the harpoon and the net. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to tame some new owls over on Genesis 2. I wasn't originally planning to, but now that I've got the gachas, I've got more of an incentive. Because I'll be able to get owl pellets, and that'll help the gachas. Anyway, we're really done with Extinction now. So I'm going to upload myself. Just double check. I'm pretty sure I don't have anything on me. See if there's enough in here. Nope, we don't have enough. Have enough food, and I don't want any of them. Let's just put stuff across here for the other dinos that I've got, just to keep them ticking along. That should do for now. Right, now we'll upload ourselves back into the system. Right, we should be able to go back to Genesis 2 now. Right then, so we finally go back to here. So, yeah, so pick you up. So I think what I'll do now then, in that case, I'll have to start thinking about expanding this place outwards so that I have somewhere to keep the gachas. Probably move these around. I don't know, someone's getting a bit excited there. Yeah, if I reposition all of these, keep them closer to there, but I can see me having to expand this area out because I've now got 5 gachas to look after. If we head over to the tech transmitter, grab one of those saddles, and we'll download one of our gachas. Or at least we'll try. There you are. Yeah, can I just get past that? Stuck on top of the transmitter. That's useful. So yeah, so I can't just leave them out and about, because they'll end up getting sad. And if they end up getting sad, they don't do anything. So, you need to switch over to making Silica Pearls, alright? Hello? Yeah, you need to make some Silica Pearls. You know what those are? because they're very useful. So you get on making them, all right? So let's have a look. If we do the gacha. Yep, so I'm going to need crystal. That's not so bad. These are all things I can get from here anyway, so that shouldn't be bad. If I'm going to see if I can make one just out of curiosity, because they are quite big, I must admit. Yeah, we can make one. So I'll get one of these going. It gives us a bit of perspective, because I ended up building a really big base over on Extinction. Hello, are you following me around? Are you? You're bored or something? You don't have to be bored if you don't want to be. You know, it's not mandatory. So let's have a look and see how big this is. Yeah. Yeah, I think we definitely need a bigger base. So I think it's going to be a case of I'm going to have to start shuffling things around. Actually, while I'm at it, speaking of shuffling, I wonder if can I gather all of those silica pearls? Yep, gotta do each one individually for some strange reason. Right, tell you what. Who's got all my bits and pieces? You have, don't you? Did I put them on you? Yes, I give them to you. In which case, if I give you... I was going to give them to that one, but I can just deposit them. It's one way of making life easier. So we've now got 2,500 silica pearls. So in which case, make one of these and get that side closed up. But of course the entire base is like totally open from every other angle. I mean, it doesn't have a roof or anything. So put that there. Right, so now, you know, it's kind of functional. You know, we're getting there. We're getting there. But yeah, I'm gonna have to seriously widen this place out. It's gonna take like forever and a day, because I'm gonna have to make this whole lot wider on this side, pull things down, put them back together, because these things are huge. I mean, they're covering about... So that's a thought. It's about a 4x... What's that? 4x4? Ish. Jeez Louise. I mean, I could, given how high these are, I could potentially have them on different floors. I mean, we are high. I mean, these walls are 12 high. The only drawback then is like, I don't know, it just seems kind of like a waste of the height. I'll have a bit of a play around and I'll see what I can come up with. Well, I managed to get my gachas up and running now, so we've now got 2 on the ground floor, and then I've created a first floor and put the other 3 up there. So they're all in these Gacha Gavagers, so that's unique to S+, where basically it means I can keep my actual gachas close together, and I don't have to worry about them getting sad, because if they did, they just wouldn't produce the actual crystals. Now, because I've got this first floor, I've also taken advantage of these tech elevators, which I quite like. So just stand on this one here, press the space key, and it takes me up to the first floor. So that's quite good. And then if I stand on this one, press C, it takes me back down to the ground floor. So I do quite like that, I must admit. It's kind of like, you know, it teleports you up and down, whereas like the normal sort of like elevators, you know, you've got to ride up and down, and it's a bit slow and kludgy, I'd say, but yeah, I quite like that actually. So anyway, we've now got all 5 of them up and running, so they all produce the silica pearls, but I don't want to keep going around and having to gather the actual crystals they produce. I want to make my life easier for actually feeding them as well. I mean, at the moment I've only got stone. I mean, I need to do better than that to try and get them to produce more actual resources in their crystals. So what I'm doing, again, taking advantage of S+, I've got this item aggregator here. What you've got is collection options. So I've set that up to gather these gacha crystals. And then if you look at distribution options, it sends gacha crystals to crackers. So I've got an S+ crystal cracker here. And if you go into this, it's actually set to automatically crack any actual crystal that shows up in its inventory. And then it's also set to upload them to dedicated storage. So what's basically happening is whenever they produce a crystal, the aggregator picks it up, sends it over to the crystal cracker, it opens it up, and if these are like silica pearls, for instance, which is the only thing they should be producing, they'll end up in dedicated storage over there. So it does help to automate things. I mean, there's other things this can do. I mean, at the moment I've also got it set up for the metal ingots, for instance, here. So it's actually collecting the metal ingots that the actual forge produces, and that's why, as part of the distribution option, I've got it set to upload a dedicated storage. I've also got it set up for owl pellets and, you know, sending those to the gachas. I just don't have any owls yet, but at least it means that the ingots are automatically ending up in here, for instance, and allows me to keep an eye on things, because that's part of the hold up now. I mean, I've managed to get some more walls up, plus all these ceilings, more foundations. I've expanded out with the actual force fields, and this actual text strider that I've got, even though it's low level, it's really helping me. Mostly because it's, you know, we're working quite close to where the base is, where the actual dedicated storage is. So this thing it's gathering tons of things, and it's getting those uploaded. I must admit the S+ dedicated interface is a bit fiddly. Sometimes I have to deactivate it and then reactivate it, otherwise it sometimes just stops because the inventory's full. So it can be a bit fiddly, I must admit, but otherwise it works most of the time. So I mean, we're getting like tons of metal, for instance, tons of stone, tons of crystal. Black pearls, you only get a very small amount of black pearls, I've noticed, but I mean, I'm still getting quite a lot to be able to keep up. I think the obstacle I've got now, more than anything, is just the fact that it's taking me so long to produce the actual metal ingots. I mean, I've got tons of metal, but even though this industrial forge has got a lot of little blueprints here where it's producing all of these metal ingots at the same time, it's still taking quite a while. So I'm actually quite tempted, just at least temporarily, to probably go back to base, get the one from there, bring it over here, because this is just for the sake of getting this base finished off. I mean, I've still got a lot of ceilings to do, quite a lot of the walls to finish off. But what I'm thinking of doing is I'll probably put another first floor up here and on this side to keep some owls, because the gachas will benefit from having the actual owl pellets as well. But yeah, that's something else I need to think about, because I didn't, as I was saying earlier, I didn't really want to bring across ones from Extinction. I could have done it, would have made my life a lot easier, but I'm just keen to try out some of these new tools that you get with Genesis 2, specifically that net projectile. That makes taming a whole lot easier. Anyway, one other thing I've added in is just this S+ transfer control unit. This makes life a bit easier as well, because I've got it set up to do two things. One is I've got it at the moment just sending stone across to the actual Gacha Gavagers. Another one that you can get is to send the metal over to the forge as well, so I can keep feeding the forge quite quickly. So just set that one. Just make sure that's set to feed the gachas. So that's just transferred 1,000 stone across all 5 of those gachas. They'll start eating the stone and start converting that over to silica pearls that I need. Mostly for these like force fields, I must admit. Otherwise what I could do is just get it to send some more metal over to the forge. So I'll put that back to the Gachas because that's what I normally do. So yeah, so the these are all these metals being sent over to here. There's a limit of 100, and the aggregator over here is just constantly pulling the metal ingots out. Have a look in here. See, I've got some metal ingots. After a short while, it'll actually transfer those over to the dedicated storage there. So as I said, this makes my life a bit easier being able to do that. The one thing I can't do is like fully automate feeding those Gachas. But that to me is a lot better than having to literally manually go around every single Gacha and giving them things. I mean, the feed off the actual trough itself. So I've got a trough, so they can still get that food there. But it's what's in their inventory that they actually convert over to crystals. So they're just slowly munching away on their stone. But yeah, I'll have to start thinking about setting up a farm to improve that. Interesting enough, one thing I found, if I do a scan, last time I checked, it did actually find a Gacha. Yeah, there is an actual Gacha, and I don't remember seeing any, but there is a Gacha. It's saying at 3523, which is somewhere on the left-hand side, on the Rockwell side. I didn't particularly notice any in my travels, but that's interesting to know. So yeah, I mean, I got mine from Extinction, which is probably a whole lot easier. But that might be a possibility if you're just starting them off from scratch. It might still be possible to actually get those Gachas. And as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's any events on. We're certainly not in like Christmas or anything at the time of the recording, so I don't think it's got like, you've got like Gacha clothes wandering around. So yeah, it's odd that. But yeah, I'm making good progress now. I mean, I was tempted to actually start just bringing everything across here, but I think I'm going to still maintain 2 bases. So that means at some point I want to start setting up teleporters to make life easier as well, so I can get backwards and forwards a lot quicker. But I think probably the next thing is I'm just going to have to spend time off camera, just sorting out all the actual metal I need, more resource gathering, just to get this place finished off. And then what we'll think about is getting these owls that you can get from Genesis 2. But that's all for another episode.